What is good? What is good? We are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and now we are live on Twitch for another episode of That's On Me. We have a full house. We got Liam. We got a fan favorite, Justin Glenzer, in the ponytail signature look. Malik is somewhere. You don't see him, but that's usually normal. And we got Jay Randall, and we got our boy Rudy. What is good, y'all?
Yo, what's happening?
What's happening, bro? We're in week 12 of the NFL season. Teams are like 12 games in. How we feeling?
I'm feeling like I'm a fan of the best team in the NBA.
And what team is that?
Yo, the men's NFL, not the NBA.
I don't care.
It was a hot start, boys.
All right, let's just jump straight into the questions right now, or not even the questions, the topics. Obviously, new season. We're going straight into topics. Let's start with the NFL. All right, let's start with the hottest topic, which is OBJ to the Rams. They just had a Monday night game against the 49ers and got whooped. OBJ, I think 2 catches, 18 yards. Liam, since he was a former Browns player, how do you feel about this? Him going to the Rams and his performance.
I don't totally understand why he picked the Rams. It seems like because I thought he wanted more targets, but now he's going to the team where I think Cooper Kupp gets 30% of the targets. So I don't think he's gonna get the ball that much, even with the Woods hurt. But he's clearly just he wants to win. So I don't know why he didn't go to Tampa Bay, but I mean, he'd been with the team for a couple of days. I didn't think he'd have a good game. He looked bad. Stafford looked awful. I think they'll figure it out. I think they're on a bye this week anyway, so they have extra time. I think he's gonna be good for them.
True. Randall, same question to you. How do you feel about OBJ choosing the Rams over the Packers, New England? I think the Raiders were an option. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, I really thought he was going to sign with the Packers. I heard a lot of rumors about the Saints, but that's not I feel like that's a fake contending team. And I kind of just had the idea that, he wanted more targets, but he's really hungry to win because he's never really been in a winning environment, a reliable, consistent winning environment. So I'm this dude wants to win. I think the best place for him to have gone would probably be the Packers because they have really one consistent option at receiver. They had to force feed their running back targets sometimes, and I thought this would have been a really good spot for him. Ended up going to the Rams to be their third receiver, ended up becoming their second receiver, and he's trying to replace somebody that really can't be replaced in that team. Robert Woods, he didn't get nearly as many targets as Cooper Kupp did, but that's a really reliable possession receiver, deep threat, and you're asking OBJ to do a lot to fill in that position. I know for a fact signing to that team, he did not expect to have to do that, and now he's thrust into that. So he's probably very uncomfortable now with his decision, but they're still a contender. They gotta fucking figure out what they're gonna do next week because their game plan was so bad. They ran the ball 6 times the whole game. So they got to get back to playing their style. Maybe they'll look better, but I like his decision. But hopefully he gets more targets. I think that's a good spot if you want to be a contender. But NFC is tough, man. I don't know who the fuck's gonna come out of there.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking, but with the news that Robert Woods was out with a torn ACL, I feel like it's actually a great idea to go over there because they are one of the favorites coming out the NFC. Rudy, what do you feel about OBJ going to the Rams?
I mean, to be honest, I think he just went for the spotlight. LA's a lit city. It's about the fame. I don't think he went there for football personally. Because if it was for football decision, he should have gone to the Packers or the Bucks. So I just think he went there for a Modell, LA lifestyle, all that. He has a house there. I mean, and he also is friends with like all of them, like Ramsey, Stafford, all of them. So it was easy decision for him to join them, which made sense for him. But I guess to win, I wouldn't really say Rams. I'd say Packers or Bucks. Just because Stafford hasn't been in the playoffs. He's 0-3, so he doesn't really have that experience to win a game when it's like crunch time. But I mean, we'll see what's gonna happen, I guess.
Randall, you got something to say?
You think a dude that's been feeding for targets is going to go to the Bucks?
I mean,
more
the
targets
Rams.
to the Milwaukee Bucks,
Yeah, I was gonna
dog.
say the Bucks is a tough one.
I mean, the Rams also throw literally like 80% passes to Cooper Kupp. Even Woods being there.
You be the fourth receiver on the Bucks. If you're OBJ,
I mean,
Well,
that's also.
Like,
I mean, I would
right
honestly,
now.
I would have gone to the Packers. I would have gone to the Packers. That would have been a perfect scenario. But I don't think he likes the cold shit anymore. I personally don't think so.
Okay. That's
Philly dog.
a nice take. Glenzer, how about you?
I disagree with all of you. I think he made a great choice. I don't I understand that wanting to win and all that going to the Packers, but I don't see wanting to win and going to the Rams is a bad thing either, because the Rams aren't gonna they're not gonna lose. They still have one of the best defenses in the league, and so that's always gonna help them. And also going, I think his other choice should have been going to the Patriots though. Legitimately, I'm not even a Patriots fan, but they don't have a receiver, and Mac Jones is looking really good, and that division is ass. So they would pretty much win every single year.
Surprisingly, that is true, and we're going to talk about that soon. Malik,
the Buffalo Bills are not ass.
Bro, but they're not as good as everybody makes them out to be. They are really not that great.
Malik,
Yeah, I don't
what are
think
your
the
thoughts?
AFC is that good.
Malik, what are your thoughts on OBJ?
Oh, this nigga's asleep.
Rest of the division.
Malik, what's your thoughts on OBJ?
Damn, man, stop spanking over.
I mean, I'm fine with him going to LA. I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, I agree with Justin. I would have loved to see him as a Pat, but I mean, I'm fine with the Rams. I mean, it's up to him now. He got the trade. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear me. Well, I said I'm fine with him going to the Rams. I think that's a good decision for what he's looking for. If he's really trying to win, then that's the perfect spot. I do agree that he probably should have went to the Pats, but that would have been just too cliche. It's his time to shine. If he fucks this up, that's 100% on. Well, not really on him. He's not the QB, but again, his time to shine. See what he does. I'm interested, ready to watch him ball out. But I mean, I don't really think there's a lot of other. I mean, Packers would have been great, but the Rams are just as good. So it's up. It really comes down to him. So I'm down to watch him play, watch him ball out, show that he still has some left in the tank. But other than that, it's really up to him.
I agree. We're going to switch on to another topic, which is Cam Newton. Back in the NFL, picked up by the Panthers. And for me, I feel like it's about time. He should have never been out. This is just mellow, but just in football. Glenzer, what are your thoughts on Melo back on the Carolina Panthers? Back in the NFL playing?
I'm gonna skip over the fact you just called Cam Newton mellow.
He loves Melo.
Yeah. How you just say that shit like that? Like
Bro,
slip.
because listen, the comparison is when Melo was out
Yeah,
in the NBA, they thought he was trash. When they said when Cam wasn't playing, they thought he couldn't play anymore.
Man played like 10 snaps, bro. It's 10 snaps.
Wait,
He's
so
about
Can
to
we
be- He's about to
can
be-
we see a
He's about to be
I mean, who you gonna play? Webb or whatever his name is, a CFL dude? Come on.
He's about to
PJ
be a
Walker?
starter.
Yeah,
Some respect
PJ
on his
Walker.
name.
Yeah. Walker, that CFL, whatever. Let's see a full game first before we start talking, bro.
I'm just saying he should have never been out of the league. That's what I.
That I agree. If Fitzpatrick's in the league, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think that he should have been out of the league. Even as a backup, like just pick him up. But I didn't think he was going to be out of the league long anyway. So like when he got dropped, I knew somebody was going to pick him up eventually. It's a matter of time.
Randall, you?
Yeah, he should have never been out of the league. When you look at some of the quarterbacks that some of these dudes have, Joe Flacco is still a backup, about to make a start.
They're gonna have to eventually.
I know better than anyone how shit of a quarterback he is now. Yeah, man, the dude, he's even like if you're not going to start him, which I mean they are, as you saw last week, just use him as like a weapon on the goal line. Dude is big. He's big. You're gonna miss tackles trying to get that.
Hey, yo, pause. Just to
Dude,
clarify,
greedy, bro. That dude's big, man. He got a hammer.
Hey, yo.
Yo, but I think my honest prediction is like he plays enough to get a call back and be the eventual starter next year. I have a bad feeling about Sam Darnold. I think like the fans are gonna start to give up on him, and yeah.
Malik, what about you? Malik, what about you?
Yo, he's fapping to the halftime cheerleaders.
Cam back? Love to see it. Like I said, should have been out of the league. I mean, I thought he looked great. I thought he looked great in our preseason games. No one else agreed. I think he looked great, but whatever.
No, he did. I'll agree with you. No, he definitely did.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you now.
No, we can now.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. I can
Yo.
hear you.
Oh, yeah. I thought he looked great in our preseason, so I was kind of thinking that he'd do like 3 games. He'll start 3 games, and then they'll let Matt go in. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Yo, what I'm gonna tell you is try to log back in on your laptop, bro, because you're in and out. If you heard me, if you didn't hear me, then it is what it is. We'll just keep it rolling. Liam, Cam Newton.
I agree with you guys. Like he should have been on a team, but like I don't think he wanted to be a backup anywhere. I think that's why he didn't sign anywhere. Like, because like honestly, when the season started, like on paper, like it makes sense. But like, what team would he have started for? Like right when the season began, when everybody was healthy? Because I don't think there was one. But now with all these injuries, I thought he looked good last week. Honestly, I think his role is going to be like Taysom Hill, but he's way better. So I think Darnold's going to come back. They'll probably play Darnold at quarterback, and then Cam will come in for like trick shit and score a bunch of like touchdowns. But he's clearly the best quarterback on their team already. I mean, PJ Walker and Darnold were horrible this year. So I don't know. I mean, that roster is decent. They have a really good defense. If they can figure out their offense, I think they might be able to make a push, but who knows?
True. And last topic for football is the AFC East, which I thought was going to go to the Bills because I feel like with Mac Jones and we weren't winning at the beginning, I felt like, okay, let him grow and then maybe next year. But all of a sudden, we won a couple games. Mac Jones playing well. The defense has been what it is. It's a Bill Belichick defense, and we're second place by a loss column. Glenzer, the AFC East. How do you see it panning out?
What's the Bills' record right now?
6-3, and we're 6-4. The Patriots.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the rest of the schedule, obviously, but just off the top of my head, I think the Bills are probably going to take it. But the Patriots have a good chance. Like, the Patriots do have a really good chance if they play really good. Like, Mac Jones has been playing so well. I did not expect this at all. I thought he was going to be ass, and he's not ass at all. He makes good reads. He's exactly what Bill Belichick needed. So, I don't know. I'm going to say Bills, but Patriots still might make playoffs. So,
Rudy, AFC East. How do you see it panning out?
I mean, I think we're gonna make playoffs. I agree with Justin because schedule-wise, we have a tougher schedule than Bills do. So I see like maybe like by one game, but I still see us as like the sixth seed from there. But I don't know, divisional game, anything is possible. Based on schedule strength, I'm definitely giving it to the Bills right now.
Randall.
All right, so the Pats are playing a lot right now, a lot like I had hoped they were going to play in the beginning of the season. Run a lot, utilize their tight ends, and just like be a little conservative, but like don't be completely conservative. Like push it downfield after you slew the ball up the field and lull the defense to sleep. But I think they're going to lose like 3 of the next 4 games. I think they're definitely going to beat the Falcons. They play the Bills twice, twice over the next 4 games, and then they play the Colts in between that, and then they play the Titans. I don't think they're going to win more than 2 games of that. But their last 2 games are against the Jaguars and the Dolphins. Definitely should win that. You possibly, when it comes to our spot, I think the Bills are just going to wake up after the last couple weeks and just start dominating again. So I think they're going to come out of the AFC East. But the Pats, 3 weeks ago, I was like, this team's ass. They're not going to be in the playoffs. And then a couple smart people that know football started saying they're going to start to wake people up. They're going to be a playoff team. I didn't believe it. See it now. But the schedule is going to get fucking rough. So I don't know. I trust the Bills more.
Liam.
Yeah, I think when everybody talks about like the Bills being like underperforming, they're strictly talking about the offense because their defense has been the best in the league by far. It hasn't even been close. They let up like 40 less points than everyone else. So I'll be interested to see when the Patriots do play them, like how they scheme that. The Patriots honestly remind me a lot of San Francisco, the way they play. Like they just run the ball down people's throats. They get it to the tight ends, and then they don't make Mac do anything that he's not capable of doing, like Garoppolo. Like they just played the Browns. I was stunned that they kicked the shit out of the Browns. They looked amazing, and the Browns are awful. Like Belichick's just on his A game right now, and I didn't think they were going to be a playoff team going into the year with a rookie quarterback, but they have a win over Cleveland now. They have a win over the Chargers. That's probably another team that's going to be fighting for one of those spots. So those could be huge wins. Like, I think they're better than the Colts and, like, the Broncos and those teams. So I think they'll probably make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to catch the Bills. I think the Bills are probably the 1 seed. That team's just insane. But, yeah, they've been a nice surprise if you're a Pats fan.
Very nice surprise. And not to mention that we are 6-4, but like games against the Cowboys where we kind of let that one get by us. There was another the Bucks.
The Bucks and Dolphins. We always just fumble the ball. That's our thing. Goal line is where we fumble every game.
So that's 3 games where if it's turned around, we might be leading the AFC East and might not have to fight for a wild card spot. But with the rookie quarterback, I can't be mad, and Malik just jumped out, so that saves me from asking his thoughts and his technical difficulties. So we'll go straight into college basketball and talk about a breaking news that was yesterday regarding the Duke freshman star forward Paolo and Coach K's grandson were charged with. One was charged with aiding and abetting a DUI, and one was charged with driving under the influence. So, Randall, I wanna hear your thoughts on pretty much these news because I know he played. Paolo played yesterday. Duke won. What do you think is gonna come of these charges?
I really don't know. I didn't even know that was like a law. I know it's North Carolina. I don't know if that's the only state. I'm sure there are other states that have an aiding and abetting law for just like sitting in the passenger seat. But I was like that. After that news, I was shocked. I started. Yeah, that's just crazy. I don't know if he's gonna. I mean, if he were gonna get suspended, I think it would have happened like, right after, like right before that game. Thanksgiving is gonna be hella awkward for that kid having to face Coach K at dinner. Yeah, I don't know how you even go about that. I'm glad they're safe. Number one, because yeah, like I said in another episode, like I take like that drunk driving shit like super serious. So when I see people get DWIs, I'm like, yeah, shit. But hopefully they don't do that bullshit again. But I know you were scared, thought they were sabotaging your national championship chances. But
Listen, he's played amazing, and like he's gonna be a lottery pick if he keeps this up. But like this is the
top 2.
Hey, I don't want
He's
to
gonna be
jinx. It's
number
early.
one pick. If I mean the way he was playing, who knows?
Have
Hey.
fun in Houston, buddy.
He looks great, man. He looks standing.
But this is like a weird situation. Like, first of all, he's underage, and he's drunk, and all aiding and abetting, like all these laws. Like, you would think and it's Coach K's like final year as a coach, which I don't know if that plays a part in if he gets suspended or not. But like, shouldn't there be some like consequences?
So-
As a Duke fan, I feel like there's
So who was driving? Who was driving?
So, Coach K's son was driving. which is why-
Grandson.
Grandson was
Grandson?
driving. Yeah, which is why he got charged, and Paulo got charged with aiding and abetting because he asked the grandson to drive, knowing that he was probably drunk too. That's what I'm assuming. That's what I kind of looked up with aiding and abetting with the DWI.
Based on the law, it could have been. He didn't even have to ask him. He could have just been with him. But the fact that you're with a drunk driver, you're basically signing off that that's okay with you, and you're complicit in the fact that you're committing a crime, basically, which makes sense. I didn't know that was a law, but yeah.
So
I think he was going like 140.
he was.
Really?
I don't know how fast he was going. All I know is they got charged. And
Yeah, I saw in like one of the articles. He's going like 143.
see, like
For what? In Durham, North Carolina? What the fuck?
this.
Boy,
It
that's
makes
what I'm
it even worse.
saying.
It makes it even worse. So I'm over here thinking like, why haven't they been suspended or something? Like, I feel like there should be something from the outside looking in. Like, why isn't there something?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like for something like that, I feel like you have all the information you could possibly have.
Like some sort of discipline. Like Coach K's grandson, I don't even think he gets playing time. So like, if you do something to him, it's not even gonna matter. But like with Paulo, like he's big time, but like you can't like get away. You can't get away with something like that. I feel.
Yeah, you got to trust him.
Liam, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, only Coach K's grandson was arrested. Paulo was just charged. He didn't actually get arrested for anything. So I think that's more of like a fine or whatever, like in terms of the law. But like, it's insane that the team hasn't punished either one of them, especially because like, not to sound shitty, but like, it's not like Duke is playing conference games right now. Like, just suspend the kid a couple games. Like, I think they play Gonzaga coming up, so you hate to like make conspiracy theories about this kind of shit, but like I wouldn't be surprised if they just like wait. But yeah, it's insane that he played the other day or yesterday, whenever that was. And like it sounds dumb because he's 19. But, like if you're an NBA team, this is definitely a strike against you. Like he got like 2 weeks into the college season before getting in trouble. It's kind of a red flag, like in terms of character. So it's definitely not a good look.
Yeah, I feel that. Glenzer, are you with us?
I'm back.
How you feel? What do you think about this?
I don't know the whole thing, but I feel like the aiding and abetting charge, like he must have said something to the cop that made it like clear that he knew that whoever was driving the car was drunk, or else he wouldn't have even like. There's no really reason for him to have gotten charged. If you're just sitting in a passenger seat and you don't say a word, like you're fine. Like you don't have to say that you knew that guy was drunk. So it just leads me to believe that he must have said something, or maybe like Selfin was just being belligerent or something like that. And he definitely should not have played last night. I don't know how that got allowed. When I saw that news, I was like, if you're Duke, how are you letting him play? That's just bad. That's a bad publicity either way, whether it like he gets charged with it or not. Like it's just a bad look. So I don't know how you're letting him play. And also Coach K's grandson, crazy. What is that? Why was he there? Did he play on the team?
Yeah, barely.
It's pretty much the scenario with like Coach Calipari on Kentucky, where he had his son on the team. Didn't play, but like he was on the team.
Oh, I see. So he kind of just sits there, but that's even worse because then that kid's kind of just like he's instigating bad behavior off of players that are actually playing. So you kind of got to get him off the team if he's gonna have that. If he's gonna be that type of like presence on the bench, you don't want that type of player on your team. I don't care if it's Coach Case.
I guess that's a combo with the AD and Coach K and the player. But Malik, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's fucking stupid as hell, especially with all the stuff that we just saw with Terrence Clark. You'd think that Duke would have some type of system so that way they wouldn't even have to, I don't know, deal with it or whatever. But I mean, Duke is not that big of a campus. Nigga, use your legs, walk. I don't really know. It's crazy that they even had to drive anywhere. Like you play at Duke. What girl or what party can't you just have come to you? Like you don't need to be driving, doing anything stupid. There's Ubers, there's all this other things that you could have used before getting in the car. Like I agree with Justin. Like you just can't have that kid on the team, regardless if he is Coach K's grandson or not. You're not going to kick off whatever his name is. You're not going to kick him off the team. So if someone has to go, it's going to be Coach K's grandson. Real awkward Thanksgiving. That's going to be a tough one. But yeah, I don't know how he is still playing. That's going to be interesting to see. I agree that they should probably just do it now, get it over with while they're not playing conference teams. Because waiting is just going to make it worse.
Facts. Yo, imagine he chooses his grandson over Paolo.
That would be crazy. I don't think
And his grandson is like his grandson fills Paolo's role like completely, like 19 and 10.
Stop.
Second overall pick.
Yo, that's just, to be honest, I don't even know how Coach K deals with that. Probably he doesn't deal with it, and I don't know. Like,
nah, he's dealing with it. That's your grandson. He has to say something.
you got to say something about the situation. Like,
Has he said anything yet?
Don't say shit.
He said they're handling it. That's all he said.
Them niggas are running laps for days. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, driving give me 20.
godly.
Like, oh, you want to ride to practice? Now walk. Oh, you want to go to the game? I heard it's 20 miles. Start walking now.
Yeah, driving drunk, lap, 16 suicides. That's what we doing now. That's
Really, Grandpa? Fuck.
that's wild, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see for what happens there. But they do have Gonzaga coming up, I know that, and they're doing well with their non-conference game. So it'd be smart, like Liam said, to suspend them for a non-conference, because who they've just played, like Gardner Webb, like, and they just beat them like soundly by like 20. Like, suspend them there for a game, or like do something. Just do something. I'm a Duke fan, and I'm saying do something. Even though I love Paolo, he's like top 10 for talents coming into the NCAA, which is my next question. Randall, have you seen the top 10 college basketball freshman list?
Top 10 basketball freshmen list. Like top 10 players coming in,
Yeah.
or that are in now.
Yeah, going
I
in.
can think of who they are, but I haven't seen a list.
I You want to guess the first 5 before I give the list then?
First 5. I'm gonna say Paolo,
He's in the first 5.
Chet,
Yep.
Imani,
Yep. You got the first 3. Not in order, but the first 3.
and Duran on his team.
Nope, he's actually top 10. He made it. He's not number 5. He's outside the top
Damn.
5.
It's a dude from Michigan on it.
Yes.
That's bullshit. But okay. And then fuck, I don't even know who the 5th one would be.
I'll give you a hint. He plays for Duke.
Oh, Coach K's grandson.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wait, for real? Not Keels or Roach.
No. It is Keels.
What? Oh, okay. Wait, was this before the season?
Before the season. So the list goes: Chet number 1, Paolo number 2, Imani Bates number 3, Caleb Houston 4, Trevor Keels 5, Patrick Baldwin Jr. 6,
Facts.
Jalen-
That dude's nice.
Jalen Duran 7, Jabari Smith 8, J.D. Davison 9, and Kennedy Chandler 10. What do you feel about that list? And have you heard about these freshmen going in?
Yeah, I pay attention to all that shit. I think Caleb Houston's like super overrated. I think he's gonna have a good year for Michigan. They already lost. They lost to a good team, Seton Hall, but he played like ass. Like, oh my gosh, watching that was gross. If he even made like 2 more shots, I feel like he just shaving points. But for him to be on the list, I feel like, did people really think Keels was gonna be this good and important like, right away? I feel like that was a surprise.
What I
But,
saw from against Kentucky, I was very, very impressed.
bro, he is serious. Like, I did not know. Like, I honestly didn't know who he was. Like, there are some players every year that I like kind of overlook. Like, I didn't watch a single highlight video of that dude. He just came out of nowhere. But he's good. He knows how to use his body in the paint. And, like, he could shoot. I mean, he's 6'5". And he's got a lot of size. Durant is really good. I feel like Memphis, like going into the season, I thought Memphis was going to be a little disappointing compared to what other people thought. They look really good right now. Yeah, I think what's his name, Patrick Baldwin on Milwaukee. No one's going to watch Milwaukee play basketball. I mean, I don't even know what conference they're in, but he's really good. He's going to be an NBA player for sure. He only really went there because his dad coaches, which, you know, if your dad could coach you in college, it's pretty dope. But yeah, good players.
Before I go to Liam, do you see all these players that I just named as one and done?
Do I see all of them as one and done? I think the 2 from Denver, Chess one and done. I don't think Caleb Houston should be one and done. Baldwin is one and done for sure. Jabari Smith, that's the dude from Auburn, right?
Yeah.
I don't know his game too well. But Duran's for sure one and done. He might be like top 3. Imani, actually, I figured this out last week. He's 18. He's not going to be 19 by the time of the draft. He might even be 17 now. But he's not going to be.
He's 17.
He's
He won't be
17?
18 until the second semester.
Oh my gosh, that is insane.
Dude, born in
He's not even draft
2004.
eligible by this draft, so he's 2023. And he's getting this experience. I think that's crazy. You get to be coached by a fucking Penny Hardaway and play for a top 10 team when you're 17. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, I think all of them except for maybe a few should be one and done. They might all do that, except for Imani. But you know, dudes make mistakes all the time. Kennedy Chandler is really good. I don't think he should be one and done, but he's good.
Liam, your thoughts and same question about the one and done for these 10 players.
Yeah, I don't really follow college basketball as much as you guys do. Usually I kind of pick up around like draft time because the Cavs always have like the top 2 pick. But this Holmgren kid kind of freaks me out if I was an NBA team. He's really, really skinny. And like we just drafted Mobley, who's like skinny, but like he makes like Holmgren makes Mobley look big, and he kind of reminds me of that Poku dude on the Thunder, who's maybe the worst player in the NBA. So I don't know if I take that guy first overall. I mean, I will say one thing I do like about him though is he's playing with Drew Timme, because when he plays in the NBA, he's not gonna be a center. He's too skinny, so he's learning how to play next to a center, which I think is good for him. But like I haven't watched Duke play at all. Fuck Duke. I don't pay attention to G Leaguers or any of that stuff, so I don't really care. But sounds like they'll be good. Freshmen, they all stay. I'd be surprised if any of the big ones, or they all leave. I'd be surprised if any of the big ones stay, honestly. That Bates thing is wild. I did not know he couldn't go to the draft. And that clip of him traveling is hilarious.
Malik,
Yo,
same question and thoughts about the top 10 freshmen coming in. Any of them stick out to you? Any of them you know?
to be honest, I don't really follow college basketball that much. I just follow my team, so I really have no exact input on this. To be honest,
What's your team again?
Kentucky, of course.
Sheesh.
Don't juice me. You filthy. Well,
I
2-1.
no, I ain't gonna lie. Watching Kentucky versus Duke, Kentucky's gonna be good. There always are. But watching Kentucky versus Duke, the only thing I saw as a plus for y'all is y'all center. Who's just
Oh my
getting-
gosh,
He's filthy. Yeah, he's filthy.
that dude
they also
got
have a lot
like
of
20
transfer
rebounds
players, so it's
twice.
tough. We have a lot of transfer players, so it's gonna take them a few. Their first game being against Duke wasn't gonna. That game could have gone either way. I'd have been shocked. Honestly, I'd have been shocked if they won. But I'll take that L. We won't lose again, and we'll keep riding.
At first, when I saw that center, I thought, dang, the center from Illinois, he's doing work. But then I found out it wasn't him, and I was like, who is this dude? I don't even know if the center.
Yo, he was supposed to go there. Like he was close to transferring. So
Yeah.
honestly, a week up until the season, I roster, and turns out I completely missed. He went back to Illinois, and his first game is whenever the next game is. He's been suspended, but I thought so too. Like that, I didn't know who he was.
I did not know, and he was getting boards. He's gonna be very good. He might, I don't know. Is he a transfer?
I really don't even know. I'm gonna look right now.
Malik, do you know if he's a transfer or is he a freshman? If he's a freshman, that's crazy. Malik don't even know. He's asleep.
Damian Collins?
He's a transfer.
He's a transfer? Okay,
Yes, sir.
That makes sense. Lenzer, what are your thoughts on the top 10 list? Do you see any one and dones? Do you even follow basketball? College basketball?
I
these
follow
days?
some college basketball. I like to watch the high school players before they get into college. I don't really watch them while they're actually in college because most of them are one and done, and it's kind of just absolutely pointless to watch them play for a year. So yeah, I think all of them except for Moni will probably go one and done. That's what I think. Also, bless. Have we
Thank
had
you, dog.
JD Davidson on the list?
Who would you say?
JD Davidson.
JD Davidson? Yeah.
He is dirty. I love his game. He plays very well. And
He flies.
reminds me of us a lot. Hopefully, he's more efficient though.
Yeah. I like him too, but like obviously going to the SEC, he's at Alabama and he's playing with the guard, which is Quinn, right? So I just feel like I don't know who do you know if he starts?
I don't. If he does start. If he doesn't start, that's a travesty. And
That
everybody
is a
should fire.
travesty, but like you also have to start Quinn too.
I start them both. Can't go wrong.
They're both ball dominant, but with Alabama
Both
and that
ballers.
backcourt, pause. Shit. Pause. But with that backcourt in the SEC, I feel like they can do damage. Obviously, you gotta
Sure.
get through Kentucky and get through maybe LSU and Arkansas if they have a solid program. Shaq's son is at LSU, and So you never know. The SEC really has like 3 or 4 teams that make it to the tourney every year, so it's a wait and see with them. And with that, we're gonna jump to the NBA. And first topic, because Randall's here, we're gonna talk about the Golden State Warriors, the best team in the league right now. Liam, I'm gonna go to you. What are your thoughts on the Warriors, and not just in general with how they started off the season? 12-1, Randall, or 12-2? 12-2 in last night's performance against the Nets.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Warriors, so I'm not surprised that they're doing this well. But like, to be honest, it's kind of shocking. Like after last year, like I kind of thought they'd be similar until Clay came back, but Steph's somehow once again on another planet. I don't even know what to say about this team anymore. I hate them so much. Like they're just gonna be good forever. Like they just always beat the Cavs. They cheat, I think. I'm pretty sure. What the fuck is that? But they play the Cavs tomorrow night, so that's their first true test of the season. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey, Liam, I'm with you, man. Glenzer, how about you?
The Warriors are nasty. I don't even know what they're gonna look like when Clay comes back. Like, does he start? Like, does he start with Wiggins? Does Wiggins start with him? How does that work out? Do they all play?
I think Poole will go to the bench.
Curry's coming off the bench. Yeah.
Okay, all right. But yeah, they look good, and they're going to be good for a very long time. Steph, dude, he gets better every year, which people don't talk about. He keeps getting better somehow. Like after his injury, people were like, "Oh, he's going to be done." Like they thought he was on the decline. He's still in his peak. Like he's still there. Absolutely insane watching him play basketball.
That's crazy. I don't know who you're listening to, but I've never. What was his injury?
Didn't he have like a wrist injury or something? He had something where he was out for a while.
Yeah, he missed the whole season, 2020.
Yeah.
I feel like players like Curry just get better over time because they don't rely on athleticism, and those guys, they just go down the drain, like Russell Westbrook right now. Down the drain.
Lillard, yeah.
Don't disrespect Dame. Don't do that. Don't do that. Dame is.
Come on, that was a layup. You really set me up there.
But Malik, your thoughts on the Warriors and how they played last night?
I mean, the Warriors are just filthy. I mean, there's really not much else to say to it. I mean, I don't like. We'll see what they look like. Obviously, they still have Clay coming back. Wiseman, is he going to play this season?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So when they come back, I mean, Steph's just playing at an MVP level. I don't think that's ever going to change. It's just fantastic shooter, but I mean, good for them. I'm glad they don't have to do like a full rebuild. It only took them like 3 years, a year maybe, to get back to the same spot that they're in. I mean, it's still early. Let's see if they can hold that. So yeah, they're a good team.
Just good, huh?
Randall, the floor is yours. Say what you gotta say for the people live on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. What do you gotta say?
All right, I'm gonna first start with last night. If I were a Nets fan, I would be punching the wall after watching that game. First half, you looked like you were in there a little bit. It made you comfortable. Get close before the third quarter, like we always do. That right now, their third quarter margin is like, I mean, obviously the season's not going to end today, but if the season were to end today, it would be like the greatest all time by like 6 points. They're dominating teams in the third quarter. I don't know what Steve Kerr is feeding them at halftime. That like Space Jam juice that gave them all this stuff, the secret stuff. Shit is crazy, bro. They make adjustments on defense. KD had 19 in the first half and didn't score for the rest of the game. And he played like the whole third quarter. Just got locked the fuck up. That was supposed to be the matchup, dog. Like, we're 10-1 at the point where they're saying like we're not beating any teams. That we beat the Bulls and the Nets in 3 games. And yeah, can't say much about it. They yeah, I didn't think they would be this good. I thought they were going to be a top 3 team in the West, especially like after a month. But this shit's crazy. Like their defense is swarming. After watching the defense last year, like with Bazemore fouling every single play, like oh my god, I can't believe the Lakers actually like called him and said like, "Yo, we want you." What? All you had to do was watch one game last year, and you would have thrown up and been like, "Yeah, Rob, we can't do this. Yeah, Genie, we're not doing this. This is a bad move." And he's not playing. He's not playing. He's unplayable for them. Yeah, that was a dude they called like our lockdown perimeter defender. Like it was really hard to watch last year, and the year before was even worse. But last year, like for some reason, they still had a chance to be in the playoffs. That reason is Steph, all-time great. Doing 39, 33 with Bazemore and Oubre. It's just unheard of. But now they replace all those dumbass players for dudes that actually know how to play the game of basketball. That's all they need, bro. I was watching last year, like, yo, if we had dudes that, like, found Steph in the corner when he wanted the ball, we had dudes that didn't foul with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. We had dudes that didn't foul on threes to lose the game. It happened 3 times last year. All you have to do is find dudes that are not going to do that, and you can be a very good team, especially with Wiseman and Clay coming back. It's just crazy, man. They're having fun. They're high-fiving each other. You know, it makes you want to, you know, be in the arena, embracing all that stuff. Clay coming back. It's not even going to be fair, bro. I'm not even watch the games. It's just going to be like 30-point wins. The occasional, like, we didn't wake up for this game loss.
But Randall, let me stop you here because this is a serious question. Obviously, when Clay and Wiseman come back, like, Jesus Christ, like y'all lineups top to bottom, like your garbage time lineup is gonna be crazy, right? But like even with Clay coming in, like, is that gonna like affect the Warriors? Because obviously, when Clay comes back, you got to start him, right? But obviously, they might say, let's get his minutes restriction going, come off the bench or whatever, and then you got Jordan Poole coming off the bench. Is he gonna be like? Obviously, Jordan Poole has really no say if he wants to start and things like that. They'll laugh at him like, nah, make Clay come off the bench. Like, obviously, he'll come off the bench and he'll accept any role. But with that coming off the bench and his minutes going down, like, will his like performance start to like go down, or will will it go down like appropriately with his new role? And like with Clay coming back and Wiseman coming back, how does that like look with the Warriors going forward? Because Wiseman still has to. He's not like a vet. He's still kind of young. He's still gotta, I wouldn't say like learn the system because he's already been there, but like if he goes into the game like with the bench, what is that going to look like?
All right, so Poole's going to be even more comfortable coming off the bench because he has the freedom. He's the go-to guy in the second unit. He has experience playing with the second unit already because when Steph comes out midway through the first quarter, which wasn't happening last year, Steph would play the whole entire first quarter and then sit at the beginning of the second. He's getting run with the second unit already, so he knows how to play with them. He starts the second quarter a lot. Cool. So he's going to be fine. He's going to have a lot of ball handling responsibility. His minutes might go down by like maybe 2 or 3 because they get staggered already. And he needs to be on the floor because he's a shot creator. His minutes are not – he's not the player that should be worried about minutes. The players who should be worried about minutes are like Dinwiddie and Moody, who already like doesn't play that much. And like maybe, yeah, like – bringing in Clay isn't really going to affect a person like Jordan Poole's role. He's going to – I don't know if he's going to score 17. We don't need him to score 17. But he very well can, especially like the amount of points this team can put up. With Wiseman, beginning of the season, like Steve Kerr put Wiseman in some like really like gross situations, like posting him up and letting him go to work when he's fucking 19 and going against like fucking Gobert. You know, he's a lob threat that we don't have. I watch every game looking at Looney like, oh my God, I can't wait till Wiseman's back. Because I love Looney, like, not as a player, like as a person. I don't love Looney's game at all. Like, he'll get past the lane and he'll have to pump fake twice because he has no explosion. Because of injury, but like he has no explosion. And I'm thinking like, damn, if Wiseman were there, that's an automatic lob. Like he's gonna get, if he gets like say 25 minutes a game, which he'll probably get later on the season, he's gonna get like 8 points off a lobs easy. Yeah, he's gonna fit perfectly, man. Because Looney is a fit right now, which is crazy. Like you can just imagine it. You just gotta use your imagination. Substitute him in. He's a better rim protector, which the Warriors don't have at all. Kuminga's the only one, and you can't rely on that. I just think it's gonna be fine, man. They're one of the best teams at adjusting to anything. So
Y'all got a roster for days. You got the young players with the vets, and the vets teaching the young players, and the offense, the ball doesn't stick. Like the Celtics need some of that. But Liam, I'm gonna jump to you for this question. Because me, Glenzer, and Randall were going at it earlier. Knowing everything you know about the Warriors right now and some of the recent draft class, the question is, you know, as a fan of basketball, would you like to see, or would you love to see, or how do you feel about the Warriors drafting Davion Mitchell to their squad?
I don't know if he really fits them. I mean, he fits every team so he can guard people, but like he honestly would fill the Bazemore Oubre role on offense, where like he kind of is just in the way. Like that dude can't shoot yet. Honestly, like what Justin was saying, like I think the best thing that happened to them is honestly addition by subtraction, getting rid of those two guys. Like you just can't put someone out there that can't shoot with Steph. They're gonna beat the shit out of them. So. I didn't love either of their picks. I liked Moody as a player. I don't know if he fits the roster. Kuminga, I didn't like at all. He's impressed me, but I thought they were going to trade their picks for a player. But it is fun that they have like these three like teenagers that they can just try to plan a future with, and obviously they have like the best possible players to learn it from. But I think the biggest thing that doesn't get talked about with them is they have maybe the best coach in the league. Like. Steve Kerr's a genius, and he never gets any credit for anything. So, like, they could have drafted anybody and made it work, but I don't know. Davion, he has, like, fun, like, defensive, like, little snippets that go around, but I feel like a full game of him, you're just like, man, this guy is a 0 on offense.
See, I just feel like, and this is just me, as a fan of basketball, and you're a top pick, like, obviously, recency bias comes in after what we just saw with him winning the national championship at Baylor. I just feel like, because Randall would love him on Golden State. Now, I'm not saying I don't hate that, but I'd rather him get drafted to a team where they say you're the franchise, you're the next player, we're gonna give you the keys. I wouldn't want him to take a backseat role to go to Stephen Curry, or pretty much take a backseat role where your minutes are going to go down and you're not really. I feel like you should like really go through like everything to like put yourself in the best position for your career. That's how I see it. Now, I'm not saying going to Golden State is not going to help your career. Learning from Steph Curry is not going to help your career. I'm just saying your career will go further. Saying everything goes well, no injuries, things like that, will go further with you on your own team. That's how I feel when we're talking about Davion Mitchell, because Randall wanted Davion on Golden State, and he said Davion with Curry and learning blah 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 would have been beautiful. I think it's disgusting. It's absolutely gross. Yes, Randall.
Unless Liam, if you want to respond to that, I'll wait and go after.
But. No, I'll wait till you go. I forgot to raise my hand.
I usually raise my hand when I feel like I've been disrespected and I got to clear my name. Davion Mitchell was not the number one player I wanted. He excited me, But my thinking is, if he falls to Golden State and all the other players that I wanted don't get picked or get picked, I would be fine and very excited to have Davion Mitchell, and I could see him becoming a lot better player under Golden State than organizations like Sacramento.
Wait, so who was it?
Because that's what happened.
That was my point. That was
Can I?
Can I?
You have something to say, Phil, before I keep going?
All right, go ahead.
I love Davion Mitchell, especially in college. Look, watching him now, he's struggling. Not struggling, but like he's on a team that's underperforming. I expected him to come off the bench to start, but like his shooting percentage isn't that good. He's getting in the lane when he's making the right passes and stuff and playing great defense, even though I've seen him get cooked multiple times this year. I'm looking at what the Warriors didn't have the year before, which was a good on-ball defender that's smart. Instead of having to rely on Bazemore to foul you, get 4 fouls in the first quarter, I thought Davion Mitchell was the best on-ball defender in the NBA, in the NBA draft. So I'm like, all right, that'd be great. If we don't get the guys we want, I'd rather draft him than fucking the Spurs drafting Josh Primo. That shit was dumb as fuck. I wanted Duarte. I wanted Kuminga. We got Kuminga. I was excited if we were to get Moody, but I was also very excited at the prospect of getting Davion Mitchell because I didn't trust a lot of the dudes that were like, I didn't want Franz Wagner. I didn't want. I knew Scotty Barnes was going to get taken before 7. Like, it may not have been the best fit in the NBA for Davion Mitchell, but like, damn, it's better than Sacramento. And you're putting so much stock in the fact that he's not going to shine. He's not even shining right now, bro. And he's got a lot more opportunity on Sacramento than he would have had it on.
But we're comparing.
I'm not done. You put too much stock into playing right away when some of the best players in the NBA right now did not play right away. They sat back. They didn't start. They learned from either great players before them who passed the torch to them, or they just, they learned. They fucking, they went through it. I don't think, like, Devin Booker got in a really lucky situation. It looked grim. He was probably a year from leaving if they didn't really nail their pick in 2018. Like, I mean, they still could have botched that. I mean, DeAndre Ayton got suspended before the fucking season even started, missed the first, 25 games. And they should have picked Luka. But the fact that they got lucky being attractive enough for Chris Paul to go there and be a playoff team. Like, they stunk for a long time with Devin Booker, where his contract could have ended. He could have just bounced and not even made the playoffs. Like, you gotta get really lucky if you're going to a really bad team. Want to go?
Like, what is his career now? He was just at the NBA Finals. That's my point. And
That's
if
you're helping
Davion's
my point.
No, because if Davion Mitchell is on the Golden State Warriors right now, what's his playing time looking like?
15 to 20 minutes, bro. Maybe less than that, because it's hard to crack that rotation. And honestly, in hindsight, I didn't know how the roster was going to look. So we're talking about the NBA draft before free agency is even a thing, before Bielisa signed, Otto Porter signed, Gary Payton was signed super late into the preseason. But I don't know how the roster is going to look. So I'm like, all right, this is the dude I want on my team based on how the roster is currently constructed. Now we have Gary Payton II. He's offensively limited, but, bro, he can guard literally anybody in the NBA. So I don't need another dude like that, even though I would like a point guard that can create and get into the lane. It's different now. Like, looking at constructed now, I would love to have fucking Duarte or Scotty Barnes or somebody else. But it's not. He wouldn't crack minutes on this team like right away. But who the fuck? Not many players do, bro.
He might win a ring though. Like,
exactly. Which
That doesn't
all
mean
you can
valuable
fucking
experience.
want.
And
I'm talking about his career. Like Devin Booker. If Devin Booker went what Randall's route is, then Devin Booker should have got drafted by Golden State, learned on the Klay Thompson, get a ring, and
he would be dirty still.
no, he
Yeah,
wouldn't.
That man would have played
No,
right
he would
away.
not. Stop
He
it.
would have played
Devin
right
Booker-
away.
Devin Booker
If
would be the
Chris
same
Paul
Devin
doesn't
Booker
go
right
to
now.
that team, Devin Booker asked for a trade a year ago.
So
And
Devin
he's in
Booker would
Minnesota right now, losing with Cat.
Yes, and there's
Also,
so many players
I-
that do that and lose and never have a good career because of it. So
I'm
Well,
just saying.
okay, I have a few thoughts on this because I think it's interesting. But 15 minutes for the Warriors is more impactful than 25 for the Kings.
No, it's not.
Like, it is. The Kings are horrible. He plays the same position as their two best players. It makes zero sense. I understand why they drafted him because he's a winner and they wanted winners on that team. I get it. He doesn't fit that team. They got to get rid of Fox or something because it makes zero sense. There's no fit at all. But what really worried me about him is he fits this like archetype of guys that get drafted in the lottery where like you're drafting them for their defense and that usually doesn't work. Like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was awful. Justice Winslow's been awful. The Cavs did it with Okoro. He kind of freaks me out, honestly. Patrick Williams has been good, but he got hurt. Like, it's just such a risky move to make to draft someone like for defense because in today's NBA, if you can't score, you can't play. Like, especially for a team like the Warriors, like you're just a liability. I mean, like Justin said, Kent Bazemore is getting no minutes on a Lakers team that has like two healthy players. So, I understand where you're coming from. Like, obviously, you want minutes, and people make the same argument for like quarterbacks in the NFL, but like for me personally, I think being around a winning environment is going to help you more than playing 15 more minutes a game. When you're losing every single game, you're building terrible habits probably. Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
So I agree with you. I don't like him being drafted to the Kings with Halliburton and Fox there. That's just too many guards, and like you're fighting with those two. And you got Buddy Hield. Like, I don't know how they figured that out. Plus, I think Luke Walton's the coach. Yikes.
he's getting
Not
fired.
for long, but yeah.
He's getting fired.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to pray for you. But I still say 26 minutes than the Golden State Warriors. Because, like, let's look at this. Jonathan Kuminga, their first-round pick. Granted, and I said this earlier, granted, he's been injured. But he hasn't broke 20 minutes, right? So he hasn't really got, like, serious playing time. Like most of his playing time, like last night, 19 minutes, I looked it up. Most of them was in the garbage time when they're up 20 points. And he did have a couple highlights in the first half. But like, I feel like if you want to like see him grow, you got to give him more minutes. And with Davion, if Davion was on the Golden State Warriors behind Stephen Curry, who's playing at a crazy level right now, like, and Clay's not even back, and Wiseman's not even back, and you got Wiggins and Poole, like, you're telling me 10 to 20 minutes for Davion? I'm not buying it. Now, him going into the draft, his defense is crazy, but another thing was people said he played like Donovan Mitchell because of his last name and the way he played. That's
It's
facts.
because he wore the same number and
Well,
he doesn't
and
play
he-
like
and-
Donovan Mitchell.
He does in a way. In a way.
He has none of the offensive
Minus
talent.
the athleticism, he does. Minus
a
the
big part.
athleticism, he does. So for me, that's why I say 26 over 15, yet on a bad team. Obviously, he's struggling now, but if he was struggling on the Warriors, Steve Kerr's not playing him. He's going to probably tell him, have him play like less minutes, the garbage time minutes to get his stride. That's what he did with Wiseman in the past. And I just feel like it's like with OBJ going to the Bucks. Like, you're not going to be OBJ going to the Bucks.
Listen to me.
It's not a rookie.
That's
but-
why.
I mean, I honestly like this comes back to like I feel like every disagreement we have, which is like it seems like we care more about winning than you do, like with this stuff. Like I just feel like being on a winning team is
I'm just
so
talking
much
about
more
a person
important.
though. We shouldn't be. I'm
That's what
just
I'm saying.
talking
Yeah,
about
like
a career.
Yeah, like I bet like right now, if you ask Davion Mitchell and Kuminga, like which one of them feels better and like is more confident, it's gonna be Kuminga easily. Like team success is what matters to these guys, and I just like
These
I don't
guys
know.
want
Like
to stay in the league.
look at
They want to be the best in
Look
the league
at,
at the beginning.
look at the Bagley draft. So Bagley goes to Sacramento, and like Mikal Bridges goes to Phoenix. One of them like doesn't get 30 minutes right away, but is turned into a great rotation player, and the other one is unplayable because he's been in this losing culture for 3 or 4 years now. It's the same thing that's going to happen to these Rockets players. It's just a horrible way to try to like get young players to grow. I think the only thing that helps him is he's already like 28 years old. He's like the oldest rookie ever, so that helps. But I think it's a horrible situation for him.
Same.
Bridges wasn't getting minutes when he got to the Suns.
He got he got drafted by Philly, traded to Phoenix. He was getting his minutes obviously grew. He didn't start as a starter, but he was getting playing time, got hurt, came back, getting playing time. Now he's like he just impressed so much early on in his career that they forced him to the starting lineup. All right, let me
Listen,
speak.
he didn't have no Steph Curry. He didn't have no great to mentor him to where he got the bag right now. He got the bag because of his past performance in the finals, but same thing with Ayton.
All right, so the year going into the bubble, right? The year of the Orlando bubble, the Suns, that was like their last hope to convince Devin Booker to stay at all. They were playing like shit. They go to the bubble, rally off 8 in a row. This is like the first time their whole roster's together. Like, fucking, maybe it's because Oubre was hurt and didn't play in the bubble. Maybe that's why they did so well. Now that I think about it, but Phoenix went 8-0. It was the first time like they showed any hope of being like good as a franchise. Like you go in the bubble, you're 8-0. They didn't dominate every team. They were in close games, but they looked like a great team, bro. This is before Chris Paul. They go into the next season, like, holy shit, like we can actually be something. You know, we got some pieces together. Due to just being so bad, you get 3 great draft picks in a row. And Chris Paul sees promise in that team, goes to them, and automatically you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be a great team. That was their last-ditch effort. Like, we have to be good now or else we're losing Devin Booker. We're not getting anybody. We're going to have to restart. That does not always happen. That was a very fortunate. They needed COVID to happen to keep Devin Booker and to even get Chris Paul. So
I agree.
I completely agree with Liam. Like, when you're going to a bad team like the Houston Rockets, and I mean, you can see the trajectory of where they're going. Like, not look good. They don't even look like a team that's playing together. They're losing every night.
But
a number 1, number 2 pick might not fix their problems.
But they're not looking to win though.
They should be.
Well, the front office isn't looking to win. The players want to win.
But
It's a different thing.
Obviously they're looking to develop, because if they were looking to win, which is the next topic coming up, they would let John Wall play. But obviously he's not playing because they want to focus on Jalen Green and all the other young talent, and they want them to grow and develop.
Do you think
Might be the best thing for the team. My last thing on Kuminga. Last night, if it wasn't a dominating blowout, he would have played 20 minutes anyway. He might have even gotten to fucking 19. They were beating them by 25 to 30, and yeah, he couldn't go time because fucking going to stay in the whole game. Someone's got to go in. If you watch the dude like that, is gradually getting more minutes every single night. I hope so. He had 10 one night, next night 16, next night 19. He's getting eased back in, and he's in his minutes. He's playing extremely well. Per 36, he's averaging like 18 points a game and like 8 rebounds. So he earned his way into that rotation. You can do that if you work hard. You're not just because you're going to a great championship team championship potential team doesn't mean you're gonna sit on the bench and just not learn anything. You're in practice with Hall of Famers every single day. I would rather have that and fight my way into a role than, oh shit, like every plane ride being like, damn, like we lost by 15 again. That sucks. Think about it. You might be looking at it as like, I don't want to say selfishly, but like, yeah, kind of like as a fan, not thinking about best for the player, but like,
Bro,
what you want to see.
No, because
Out of his
we
career.
even talked about this, and you said Davion Mitchell would have to fight with Otto Porter, Damian Lee, GP2, Bialica for their minutes. That's like saying that's saying the same thing for Jalen Green. If the Warriors drafted Jalen Green, Davion Mitchell, like I'm not. That's just crazy to me. I'm not gonna have Davion Mitchell or Jalen Green like fight minutes with those guys. Those guys should be on a team starting. Whether the team is a trash team, they're young talent. They're future lottery. They are the lottery picks for a reason. They have to be franchise because that's what teams draft them for.
Last thing I'll say. Here's where it's different. Jalen Green fills something that the Warriors desperately need, and that shot creation and scoring. They can't do that, and they have enough defense. And like I said, I was thinking about the roster before the current roster is constructed.
They need shot creation now.
Hell yeah!
Steph Curry's not creating shots for y'all. Draymond Green.
You want one shot creator that can
Bro,
get his
now-
own shot himself.
Now we're being selfish now.
All
Like
right.
obviously,
Do
every
you think
team wants
Jalen Green on the Warriors would be worse than Jalen Green on the Rockets for his career?
I'm not saying
That's a
no,
way
I'm
better. That's a way better
You
case
have
study
to
than
think-
David Mitchell, and it's the
not,
same
I'm not
situation.
saying that.
So
I'm not
what do you
trying
have to say?
I'm trying to say is Jalen Green should not be in a position where he's coming off the bench to step. That's like saying LaMelo Ball, because the Warriors they interviewed LaMelo Ball. He should come off the bench to Steph Curry and learn under Steph Curry.
Last year he would not have. Don't even try to do that.
What?
He got drafted last year. He would not have sat behind Steph Curry last year.
Because it's crazy.
No,
It's not the
because
same
Clay
thing.
was hurt, so he would have had to have started.
Thank you.
It's also a bad fit. I don't like LaMelo next to like their front office was probably like that's just not a good idea.
He
Like,
tanks the interview.
Bro, it's Randall. Here's my problem because you say Steph Curry this. If you're learning under Steph Curry, which is not bad, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But
excellent.
if you're not learning if you're learning under Steph Curry, it's a great situation for you. And you're saying like what I'm saying is not a great situation for everyone going to a bad team and things like that. Bam went to the Heat, learned under Haslam. That's one situation where he's doing good. What's his name? We even saw D'Angelo Russell pair with Stephen Curry. That didn't end up too good. Cat with KG.
They played 3 games together, bro.
And why was it only 3?
Bam
Well,
went
he
to a
didn't start
borderline
his
playoff. His
career
fucking
there.
wrist.
Yeah, dude. The Heat were never as bad
Steph
as the
broke his
Kings or the
wrist,
Rockets
bro.
are.
They only played 3 games together.
But who
Bad
did
example.
who
Bam
did
had
Bam
Wade.
learn from?
He had Wade. Wade was there for a year. I'm pretty sure when Bam was there.
I think
You
that
don't
was
need to be in the
that was
same
Wade's
position
farewell
learn from
tour.
somebody, bro.
If he had Wade for a year, he had
He's
Wade
still a
for
Hall
a
of
year.
Famer.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, he might have had him for 2. I don't even remember.
My point is, if you have a vet, and it doesn't have to be like the greatest of anything, that's enough. for
No,
development.
you just made our case for us without even knowing it with the D'Lo stuff. Because
Thank
when he
you.
went to Golden State, he already had all of those habits that made him a losing player. Because where did he start his career? On those garbage Laker teams where he's playing, I don't know, 25 or 30 minutes a game.
Kobe was
He's
there.
just when you do that for like 3 or 4 years,
Kobe
you're
was
just a
there.
loser. You're going to lose. And then
Kobe was there.
Kobe didn't play. He was also 40 years old and was bad. Like I don't
He
know why
hated
people
that whole
forget
team,
Those teams
too.
were awful.
Yeah.
All I'm
Yeah.
saying was I'm talking about the player. The player. If you put D'Angelo Russell started off on, D'Angelo Russell might be a bad idea. I'll take that back. But if you just have a vet with a young rookie, a talented young rookie, and it doesn't have to be a crazy vet, like, and he's on a franchise that he's trying to like, the franchise are giving him the keys. I feel like that's better than coming off the bench, limited minutes because you're behind the number one, a top star in the league, and
Yeah,
I just feel like hands-on experience going against the top guards in the league is more better than off the bench with like 10 to 20 minutes. That's just how I feel.
Good thing you're going to get to guard the best player in the NBA every day in practice.
every single
Yes.
day.
And then only play 10 minutes when it comes game time.
That's fine. Eventually, you're going to have his spot. He ain't going to be in the league forever.
The thing you have to think about is like we see like 10% of these like rookies' growth. I mean, all of it happens in practice and off the court. Like we see such a small sample of their rookie seasons. Like, is Davion Mitchell learning anything new on that Kings team that he didn't know in college? Like, probably not. I mean,
How to lose.
it's a harder example because to get drafted to a losing team and turn them around, you have to be like a generational talent. Like
Mhm.
you have to be Luka or Trae Young did it. I didn't think he would, but Trae Young did it. Like Davion Mitchell's just not that talented. Like it was just never gonna happen.
I don't know about that. That's tough because people said the same thing about Donovan Mitchell when he was in a class with, I forget who his class was, but I think
They
his
did?
Yeah, was he
Donovan-
taken like fourth?
Donovan was a first round, but he wasn't like everyone's saying he's a
He's a lottery
generation
pick.
talent. He was like,
Well, no, I don't. Well, he also went to a team that had a good coach and a good infrastructure. He didn't go to the Sacramento Kings or the Lakers from 2015, or if
Facts.
someone went to like the Rockets right now.
Dysfunction. Those are
but it's safe
dysfunction.
to say that they built around Donovan, and he kind of turned that franchise around. And he wasn't an all-world talent.
He
A lot
sort of,
better.
I mean, moral skills, bro. That's why he shot wars and went in the
And he
lottery.
turned into. Everyone was surprised when Donovan was going crazy his rookie season, even though
Yes.
he was, he's not bad. He's a first-round talent coming out of Louisville, and the last guard to come out of Louisville, I think, was Terry Rozier. So, and then before that, Peyton Siva, I believe.
Yo,
So like, it's just, I guess we can agree to disagree, but let's go to the next topic and talk about John Wall.
Wait. Donovan Mitchell, when he got drafted by the Jazz, the year before he got there, they won 51 games, and in the year he got there, they won 48. So he went to a winning team.
and Donovan Mitchell's a lot better than Davion Mitchell. Like that's not even close.
Facts.
That is
I'm
not
not
even
saying that. I'm not saying I'm not trying to compare. First of all, when it comes to those two in the same sentence,
when they got in the league. You were saying like
Huh?
when they got in the league, like they were saying Donovan Mitchell wasn't like all that good. Like people are maybe saying that about Davion because he's not nearly as good as like Donovan Mitchell could have been. Donovan
He's
Mitchell's
not
ceiling was
performing.
always way higher than Davion's is, in my opinion at least.
Yes.
well, all I can say is who's the point guard or who's like the guy on Utah when Donovan got there then.
Gordon
I don't
Hayward was there.
Yeah, Hayward.
Rudy Gobert was there.
So he played a season with Gordon.
No.
So like, I don't know, but he
Favors,
was
Joe
starting,
Ingles.
right?
Joe Johnson was there. Ricky Rubio was there.
Oh, Joe Johnson was nasty there too. I remember that.
Jay Crowder. That's a winning team full of winning players.
But what was he starting though?
I don't
Pretty sure it
remember.
was. I'm pretty sure
Was
Yeah,
he
he
started.
was starting.
I'm pretty sure
Was
he
his
started by
minutes
then.
more? Was his minutes more than 10 to 20?
Of course.
Okay,
What year did he get
Wait, let me
drafted?
look.
so I guess there's
18?
you can look at both sides and say both sides have a point then, but
Okay,
I
well, who went number one that year?
I think that was Tatum's draft.
It was Markelle Fultz, and he went to a losing team. He got hurt, but he went to a losing team. De'Aaron Fox, losing team. Frankie Smokes, losing team. Dennis Smith Jr., losing team. Malik Monk, losing team. Those are all the guards drafted ahead of him. Donovan Mitchell is better than all of those guys, and he went to a winning team. It just helps.
Jason Tatum went to a winning team. God bless him. Good for him.
Wait, Fox was in that draft?
Yeah, and Lonzo also went to a losing team.
Lonzo ain't bad though.
Lonzo.
Was
No,
then.
he's not.
Lonzo
Was
just
then.
had to
He's
grow.
horrible.
No, because Lonzo just had to grow. You can't let him grow with 10 to 20 minutes. You need him to get chewed out by Patrick Beverly the first game, which he did. And look at Lonzo now. Look at Lonzo now, Liam. Let's talk about Lonzo Ball. We're going to switch topics. Mr.
Dude, you're literally making our points for
He's
him.
on a
We're
winning
winning
team.
team now, so of course he looks better.
No, but Lonzo, before he looks better, why do you get paid? Did he not
Because
grow?
He can play
'Cause
defense
he-
and shoot threes now.
Oh yeah, he definitely grew.
He
Of
didn't grow
course.
on the He didn't grow on the Lakers.
The Pelicans
He
were
grew in New Orleans, dog.
Pelicans were a winning team. Lakers were a winning team. So when did he grow?
I think the Pelicans were probably a lot
On the-
better than.
Pelicans.
Yeah, the
Pelicans
Pelicans
were
team
not-
was a lot better. And
I
he
mean,
had not a bad.
listen. He got LeBron, and he got better that the summer before, for sure. Got better with LeBron. I mean, amazing situation. He didn't have LeBron when he was getting drafted. He was ass before LeBron got there.
Listen,
It's his rookie year where he was bad, bro. He had great games sometimes, but he was bad.
Lonzo was
He's
never on a
drafted
winning
too.
team.
He was
was
19
never
years
on-
old.
He was never on a winning team. Zach LaVine, never on a winning team. Like,
Yeah,
How did
that's
these
not an
guys grow?
accident.
how did these guys grow?
By being
To
put
Liam's
with
point.
other good players.
You don't get paid that much just to be around good players. You get paid because you actually got better as a player.
You get paid because of your numbers. That's what you get paid.
What does that mean?
You get paid because how much you put up. How much numbers you put up. That's what you get paid for.
So he got better.
Of course.
Yes. But you're not. You're
You
not.
think we're
That's
trying to
not.
say you're not going to
making
get
our
better?
argument. I don't know.
No, I'm to y'all point saying that if you're out on winning system, winning culture, that's the best situation to get better. And I just named Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine. Were they ever on winning teams?
When have they ever been
No, but the
successful?
Yes, but you think
They've never done anything.
we're saying that you can't get better if you're in a bad situation. That is
I
not
never
what we're
said
saying.
I never said
Then
that.
Just a lot
why
easier.
use Zach LaVine as an example to try to make a point? Like, that makes no sense. Of course he got better. Like, he's a baller and he worked on his game. Like, what does that have to do with the situation he was in?
But then I
That has
start
nothing
breaking
to do-
it down to
Going
what
to the
we
gym,
see.
going to the gym
10
in the
minutes.
summer, working on your game.
If you're giving Zach LaVine 10 to 20 minutes his rookie year, which I don't even think that was ever a thing, and like that's
Some
like-
dudes are too good to only get 10 to 15 minutes as a rookie. He is one of them.
I
Some
don't
dudes
know.
are not good enough. Davion Mitchell is one of them.
The Kings are just like such a bad. This is such a bad question for you to bring up because like some organizations aren't as bad as the Kings, where you can maybe put like a really good player on a bad team and actually develop them like not terribly. But the Kings have never been like when were they good again? Like 2003. Like when was the last time the
If
Kings
they-
actually were good? Like never.
If they miss the playoffs this year, it's the longest streak in the history of the NBA.
They are terrible as a franchise, like top to bottom. Like front office, they are just terrible. So like nobody that goes to the Kings is going to be good, in my opinion. Like I don't see it.
I'm not here to vouch for the Kings. I'm just here to say you give Davion Mitchell a franchise and you throw him out there and let him grow, it's going to be good for his career. I'm not here saying that him playing behind Stephen Curry is bad. I'm just saying it's better for him to get more minutes and to be the leader of his team.
When
If
you
he's the
say
leader of
good
the
for his
team,
career,
they're
what do
the
you-
worst team in the NBA.
That's drugs. Wow.
What? No, Phil. When you say good
That's
for his
facts.
career, what do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm talking about like like when I mentioned Devin Booker. Devin Booker was drafted to a bad team. The Suns were very bad at the time. It seemed like if you went to the Suns, your career is going down. And like Devin Booker stayed the course, got better as a player. Obviously, the team didn't get better until they got pieces. But then look at his career. He's one of the top wing players in the league, and he was just in the finals. And he was an all-star. Like that's the only example I really got because I really thought about. But like that's what I want for a career like Davion Mitchell is to be maximized to the fullest. Now I'm not saying Davion Mitchell's career is going to be maximized like to the fullest with behind a point guard. It will be maximized to a degree, but I feel like if you let him have the keys to a franchise, his career will go as much as it should go.
But for the Booker example, like his career takes a leap because he takes the keys and he gives them to Chris Paul. Like that's why his career is where it is now. Like
so he was a nobody. He was a nobody before Chris Paul.
Pretty much.
You're putting words.
How many playoffs he made.
No,
Right.
I'm just asking.
In my opinion, yes, he was.
Yeah.
I don't care if you can average 25 points a game on a team that wins 25 games. Like that does nothing for me.
You have to make the playoffs, Phil. In my opinion, you have to make the playoffs to be considered like anything. In my opinion, you can't miss the playoffs. You can't average 25 a game, and your team win 25 games, and me like obviously you're a good player. I'm not saying that you're a bad player. It's just that's not winning basketball. Clearly, you're not winning games, and there's a lot of other problems.
If it was the recipe for great players, like if scoring 24 a game and missing the playoffs was a recipe, like we would be calling Jeremy Grant like on the tier of a lot of these guys. Like, no, this is in this age, maybe not this year because it's harder to score now, but last year, I mean, there were some dudes, and I'm not saying like Devin Booker's
Dude, I
on
mean,
another
shit.
tier of scoring.
Dude,
Like,
Sexton
these are
averaged
another
like
tier.
25 points a game. Like
Yeah, man, like
it's
levels,
it's not
bro.
impressive. Yeah.
You gotta uplift a team.
You
Like,
don't like Sexton?
Crazy. Y'all crazy, man. That's like Glenza, we talked about this when I was saying poor Booker, but you were saying, nah, you signed the contract, like you have to deal with the.
What does that have to do with what we're saying? He signed the
Because
contract.
That's like saying like Devin Booker should have left and not signed the contract if he wants to be considered a good player.
I never said he was a bad player. I just said if he wants to win, if you want to win and be considered an all-time great, yeah, you got to go win somewhere else, buddy.
But I'm talking about the player. So we're saying, so you're not saying he's a bad player, but when I say he's you got to take a leap or whatever y'all say, that example with Devin Booker, he was a nobody before he signed that contract or before he started winning.
He was.
I personally don't think so. I thought he was. I wouldn't put him in the category of like the best scorers in the NBA, but he was fucking close, just as the
He was
eye
an
test. Like I saw him fucking score 70 against the bitch ass Celtics. Like he got to his spots like dudes in the NBA can't do. Great mid range shooter, really good 3-point shooter, really good finisher. But
A lot of guys can score though.
he didn't contribute to much winning. Like. And that's facts. Like
Okay,
put him on
so
the tier of a lot of dudes.
I
He
guess
wasn't
Liam
contributing.
is right.
Phil, what's Devin Booker's best season in his career? Like, would you say?
Probably last season.
And he had 2 years where he averaged more points than he did last year, and more minutes.
That's because, but when I've seen Devin Booker get into the league, I saw like, yo, this dude can ball, and I'm not saying he, like, you got to build around him. You got to give him pieces. That's just on a team's perspective, right? I'm talking about if you put him on Golden State or you put him on, I don't even know what like the team was for on the East side, but like if you're giving him limited minutes, then we're not talking about Devin Booker as one of the like top players in the league. We're talking about no, we're not.
Yeah, you are.
If
No,
Devin
not-
Booker went to Golden State in 2015 he is top 7 in their rotation if he has a ring.
He has a ring and like, oh my god, dude. Just imagine like I get what you're saying, individual level. On an individual level, can you imagine as a player, you're going to practice every day with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and you're coached by Steve Kerr, one of the premier basketball minds that's been in basketball for the last 20 years. Like, you are getting better every single day you step into the facility. And if you're on a bad team where you're maybe getting more minutes and you're still putting in the work, but you're just not getting the same amount of like you're not like networking kind of like you're just not getting the same amount of opportunity.
Absolutely.
I feel like if we're gonna be like that, where it's like you're killing it, but you're not winning, but then they pair you up with other people who are killing it, then that's like me saying Andrew Wiggins is like taking a leap in his career when really his career
Wiggins
has
is
been.
playing
Of course he has.
Yeah, Wiggins is playing very well.
He is playing very well, but like going into the league, he was supposed to be that guy.
I never thought of
And
him to be that guy personally.
He was a lottery pick and
He was
highly.
the number one pick. Yeah.
Well, I guess we agree to disagree.
His game is more complete now because of the team he's playing on. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, that's
You remember
easy to
Wiggins on the Timberwolves, bro? Nobody even want to talk about the dude. Now people are like, "Oh, Wiggins is a bucket. Wiggins is doing what he needs to do. He knows how to play now. He knows what shots he should take. He knows what shots he shouldn't. He plays basketball now
because he grew as a player.
on the Warriors.
Where was he before the Warriors?
Fucking Timberwolves.
And like he grew. That's what I'm trying to. If he didn't
Bro,
grow,
they were calling him a trash player. They were saying that the deal for D'Lo was one of the worst deals the last couple of years, especially because they didn't know what that pick was going to turn out to be. But that was a horrible, horrible move for the Warriors because of what he had done in his career. This is a dude who a few seasons before averaged 23 a game. He averaged 20 a whole bunch of times in his career. He was getting better, but we saw him play with Steph Curry, and he started getting respect. That's all. That's all you should take away from that. Come on, dog. Play with Jimmy Butler.
Any other questions, Phil? This has been like an hour-long segment.
bro, that's what I was trying to avoid. I got 2 more topics, and we'll just go. I don't even know if we can go right past it because they're kind of important topics, but it's pretty much Joker versus the Heat starting 5, or pretty much the whole Heat roster after what happened last week against at Denver. So Glenzer, since it's your first time on the show and you're a big Heat fan, what do you make of what happened, and what do you see is going to happen on, I think, November 29th, the rematch?
I didn't see this like the night after, but last time I saw a picture of like the Heat outside of the Nuggets like locker room, like the night out when that whole thing happened, and I was like, that's a little extra, don't we think? And then the question was like, what would they have actually done had they gotten into the locker room? And it's like, what are you gonna all throw away your season? Like 5 starters? It was literally 5 starters. Like, no, obviously not. So just like, obviously, I don't think anything's gonna happen. Like, I hope that we just go out and try to beat them by 50. Like play basketball. The Joker thing though, like the whole incident itself. Morris had it coming. Obviously, he's been had this coming. And you don't mess with the 6'11" Serbian dude. That's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Liam.
Yeah, I mean that's spot on. Like Justin said, like if the Heat really want to get back at him, like try to beat them. Like they were getting smoked when that happened. Like if you lose again to that team, and like I don't know. I mean, like what can you say? Like especially because Morris is such a nothing for that team,
Yeah,
and
he's not even
Jokic is
important.
the actual MVP. Like. And then like the clip of like Jimmy Butler talking shit to him like after he's being held back on the bench. Like, come on, dude. Like these theatrics are so corny. Like, just chill out.
Randall.
Yeah, I thought it was super corny, played out. Yeah. I think there were a lot of people that obviously were pointing at one side or the other. If you're gonna take a cheap shot at somebody's ribs, like you gotta expect like something. Like he was walking off like nothing's gonna happen. This is Jokic, who's known to express his anger in certain situations, but if you want to step up to him or whatever. So he was probably expecting something. He probably didn't expect like all that force. But yeah, you got to know what you're doing. Like he knew he wasn't doing just a regular old foul. He knew he went at his knee, at his ribs, when he was pretty much defenseless. So yeah, but Jokic, he probably didn't even know his own strength. He clobbered.
Did
So much so he
Jokic
couldn't
get like suspended for that? What happened? I don't even know.
He got suspended 1 game, and everyone else got fines.
Yeah.
Only 1 game for that? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like you guys are saying, this one player is clearly more important to their team. And I was mad that he lost his cool. You know, they were up in the game. But yeah, it's just like guys aren't tough anymore, bro. It's not like a real altercation, some fake bullshit. Like the tunnel stuff is so stupid.
Y'all don't think Jimmy's about that? Because I loved it. I don't think it was corny at all. I feel like Jimmy would absolutely
Not on the
Absolutely.
court. Not on the court.
It's
Then
the
why
Jimmy that
did he do
listens
it on
to
the
country
court?
music.
Not on the court. Definitely not on the court.
Why didn't he do it on the court? Yeah.
He's not fighting on the court. No, none of these guys are all smart people. None of them are gonna, unless they're actually very upset. They're not throwing punches during games. Like they all want to make their money.
Yeah.
I beg to differ. I feel like
I like the standing up for your teammate part. I love that, but that was just like
You see Harrow stand up for his teammate. He walked over and pointed a finger.
that
Very
was
tough.
Oh my God. He's getting
Like, why I oughta-
pounded into the ground, bro.
Oh,
One
shit.
little
Excuse me, sir.
He was just
That
like,
was Tyler.
stop it.
Hey, you don't do that.
But I feel like Jimmy, out of all of them, would absolutely throw hands.
I think your hands just not in that setting. And like even going like pushing, what are you gonna do, Jimmy? Push past security that's trying to stop you from going into the locker room? That's not only a fine, like you're gonna go to jail
Dude,
for that.
that'd be
None of these
so
guys are
fucking
stupid.
funny.
I-
Oh my God.
I feel like he would absolutely like. The Heat are doing well right now, right?
They're alright. They lost a couple in a row.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Jimmy would throw hands. Like Jimmy has shown that he would throw hands, and I don't know. He's kind of a hothead.
I mean, maybe if it was like Bam or Lowry, Jimmy's not catching a suspension for a fucking Morris brother, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, it's got like Harrow or something. Like you gotta pick on somebody he cares about.
Yeah.
And even still, he's not throwing hands. He's not throwing a punch. No, none of these guys are throwing punches, bro. And if they do, they're not gonna land. So doesn't matter.
Oh no!
Look at any NBA fight, fucking 10 years, bro.
Hey, that
Ibaka.
Rudy Gobert even said it. He said, we need to stop acting like we're going to fight. They know in 2 seconds there's going to be like 20 security guards around them.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel
Like,
like-
just stop faking.
that fight was embarrassing.
I feel like Gobert's just ducking smoke. That was just a call that he doesn't want war with anybody.
Yeah.
But
He's
that
right.
fight was very bad with Gobert and Turner. That hug fest. That was
That shit won hot.
that. I got nothing to say about that. And before we go to the final thoughts, quickly, last topic: John Wall getting paid $40 million to do nothing. Liam, what should John Wall do if he wants to play or not? What do you think he should do?
Man, this situation fires me up, but I don't have any energy left. But what the Rockets are doing right now is a travesty to basketball. They are the worst team I've ever seen. I can't believe you're allowed to just bench a player like this. It's unbelievable that's allowed. And you can't trade him because he's the worst contract in the league. So, and I don't know how like the buyout would work because I don't know how much they'd have to pay. But like, I've never been a big John Wall guy. But like, dude, nobody deserves what's happening to him right now. I mean, the shots of him on the sideline, like having to cheer for like Kevin Porter Jr.'s layup, and then he's like flexing, and it's like, oh, Houston cuts the deficit to 34. It's like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, this is horrific for basketball. I can't believe this is allowed, like, at all. I hate the Rockets right now so much.
Randall.
Yeah, they're embarrassing themselves nightly. They're losing by, what was it, 12 to 13. Losing by 13 to the Thunder. The game's almost over. I mean, you're the two worst teams in the league. You can't even compete with the Thunder. You have to stop one player. It's embarrassing. They're 1-13, now 1-14. It's really bad, bro. I mean, John Wall's gonna help you win, but you clearly don't care about being a good team, like Phil was saying earlier. Yeah, it's bad, man. The bright side is you're collecting $40 million a year, doing nothing. That's nice. If you love ball, damn, it
In
must kill.
Texas too.
But
Them state
yeah, in Texas, man. I mean, you collecting all that.
Texas, Garbo. He's collecting all that money.
Yeah, you got dough. It's a rich man. Family set for life. Yeah. I mean, it sucks he even has to show up. But he was put in this shit situation. I'm sure he wanted it after Washington, even though he got, bad injury over the crazy shit. Slipping in your kitchen, that's incredible. To tear your Achilles. I'm sure he wants to go to like a good situation after that. Ends up going to the Rockets. Thinks he's going to play with James Harden. James Harden says, nah, this can't. I'm out. Yeah, I mean, it's had a tough go. But I don't know where I'm going to see John Wall play next, if I will. I hope I do. He's a rich man right now. Good for him.
Glenzer.
Yeah, but Randall was right about. I just think that's awesome. He's sitting there making $40 million. Also sucks to see him not being able to play basketball while doing it. But also shout out to his character, because he is cheering for his guys out there, which is like a lot of guys just not show up. I'm sure a lot of guys just wouldn't even go to the game. So good for him for going out for his guys. He could be a good guy. So I hope he goes to a better situation.
Facts.
And I do want to get everyone's thoughts on this one real quick. It's like we talk about him every week. Ben Simmons saying all these fines are messing up his mental health. Liam, what are we doing?
I mean, I feel bad for him, and I think he's younger than us, and like, dude, imagine like, I know you can't even like comprehend this amount of money, but imagine if just like tomorrow they were like, yeah, we need $375,000. You'd be like, what? You'd be like, can I come play then? And they're like, no. Like, I don't know, dude. Fuck Philly. Fuck Houston. The way that they're treating their players is disgusting. Especially now in like an age where everybody talks about how mental health is important, and then the teams themselves aren't doing anything about it. Like, if you're another player, why would you want to go play for either one of those teams? Is the way I would look at it.
Glenzer.
Yeah, I can't comprehend getting fined that much money at one time, but I can't imagine he's very happy about it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing there. I have no idea. Like, literally, didn't Doc say that he wouldn't be playing if he came back anyway? Like,
he said it would take time. Obviously, got to get adjusted. Got to
get in shape. I don't know. I just think, like, what are they doing with him? Like, find something like, all these teams make excuses to like just keep on to these guys. Like, you can get rid of them. Like, you can. There's a way to get rid of them. Like, you're just not looking hard enough. I'm sure a team wants Ben Simmons. Like, I'm sure a team wants John Wall. Maybe not for $40 million. That's a little different. But Ben Simmons definitely could get moved if he wants. They just want way too much for him. Like, nobody's giving you what you're asking for right now. So change the freaking ask. Holy shit.
Randall.
Yeah, I'm on the side of feeling bad for him. I just like, especially like right when the playoff thing happened. Like I felt bad for him. Obviously, I laughed like because I didn't want the Sixers to win. But it got to the point where I'm seeing like the fans like burn his jersey and stuff, and like I'm seeing all the tweets rain in, and I'm thinking it reminded me of the Kyrie situation in terms of like the city's already deciding like they don't want you back, and it's not even up to you at that point to choose where you want to go. Like you can't even return because, well, you can. You just have to suck up a lot of pain, swallow your pride, get booed in the first part of the season, and see what happens from there. But with Ben Simmons, like Philly's vicious, bro. So I'm thinking of him going back there, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way that could happen. Now it seems like he doesn't have much of a choice. If he were to play his first home game, the boos would be louder than fucking people screaming in Times Square for New Year's. Shit would be insane.
So
But yeah,
no one feels bad that he said, or not even feel bad. That's not the right word. No one thinks like him saying like all these fines are are affecting my mental health, because the mental health part, I think that's serious. But I feel like this is just Ben Simmons just having fun, like part two from when he was at practice with the phone out, just screwing around because he obviously doesn't want to be there. I feel like him saying these fines are messing up my mental health is just like his lawyer saying like, hey, say this so maybe they'll do something. I don't think like, I feel like that was just a joke.
personally, when it comes to something like that, I'm 100, like almost 100% of the time, unless like there's glaring evidence that like you're faking it. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. So I feel bad for him in that sense, like especially just thinking about what he's been through. Like, yeah, it was a little bit self-inflicted in terms of like on the court stuff, but like you can't. No one's signing up for fucking like death threats and like you burning your jersey and saying like, yo, we don't want you back. She went through a lot, bro, and like it's gonna be hard to mend those relationships. Yeah, he's being a diva. He's always been like that in a way, but like, he was asking for help, and you invest a lot of capital into them, and you claim they have your back, or you claim you have their back, and you're not helping them. Like you're giving them a questionnaire, asking them if they want to trade, and not asking like how they're doing. You know, it goes both ways. You gotta show you care about your players, or else they're gonna feel like shit. You're the only communication you're having with your players. You're asking them for money. Like, come on now. If you care, act like it.
Facts. And we're gonna wrap this up with our final thoughts. I'll start first. My final thoughts is Glenzer, it's great to have you back, bro. We gotta have you back for more. And since I have you here, I just want to tell you that Melo is shooting 52% from the three in the last 4 games. So if you want to send me that apology via text and not on live with everyone here watching, it's okay with me, bro.
4 games? Wow. Yeah. Didn't know you owed an apology over 4 games. That's wild. Wow.
Hey, Glenzer, final thoughts.
My one thing with the Jokic fight, like I don't think that he did anything wrong necessarily. Just don't hit a man when he's not facing you. I don't know if Morris could see that shit coming, but if you can't see it coming, you can't defend yourself, and it's not really even a fight then. So he pretty much got clobbered without being able to defend himself. I know Morris's hit was dirty, but you know, I don't know. That's just the only thing I have to say. Don't hit him while he's turned around.
Randall.
Yeah, I kind of forgot to echo that point. But I'm glad it happened because November 29th, I will be in attendance to watch the hopeful brawl in Miami. That should be fun. I hope Jokic honestly goes for Jimmy this time because maybe something will happen.
He's got to go after Harrow.
Yo, you know if something happens, you know who's going to start it, right?
Jimmy.
Nah, it's going to be Haslam out of nowhere.
Haslam does be starting shit, bro. When he gets in the game, he does go into technicals. Like it happens.
Haslam's gonna tell Coach Spoelstra like start me because he knows he's not gonna play. Start me and let me just do what I do.
If Haslam goes
they
in
down
that
20
game,
nothing real quick.
he will be getting a technical. If he goes into the game, there's zero chance he either doesn't foul out within 10 minutes or doesn't get that.
Bro, if I see that on any sports betting app, Haslam technical over under
Pound it.
putting money on it. That's
Yo, you know what I think is funny? This is my last thing. On like DraftKings or whatever website you use, like the line for Westbrook getting 6 turnovers is like minus like 110. It's like you can't even make money off of it because they just expect him to get like 8 turnovers, bro. It's insane.
That is disrespectful.
Oh, and the Lakers lost tonight.
Giannis had 47.
Are you serious?
Dead ass.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't
I
watching
think
the
he
game.
missed, like,
I should have.
2 shots.
I don't even want to ask how Russ did because it probably was bad. But Liam,
He had 15 assists,
did he?
only 3 turnovers.
Wow, I was wrong. I'm sorry, Russ.
He was a +3.
Dang, we messed up then.
Bazemore lost in the game. 11 minutes, 0 for 5.
Damn.
I knew there was something.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, Liam. Final thoughts.
Get well soon, Evan Mobley. We miss you. Big game tomorrow, Cavs Warriors. Hopefully we don't lose by 30 with our B team, but it'll be fun. Fuck the Warriors.
Yeah. Love you too.
Well, that's another episode. Another 2 hours of our lives wasted talking about. Well, not talking. Just kidding. I love talking game with y'all. We're gonna be on Twitch now. We're gonna be on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now the next thing we just need to do is make this about like 60 minutes or less. But
We got
hopefully,
into that argument that took too long.
yeah. And I didn't even bring up Scottie Pippen. That was another topic, but I was like, let's not even. We'll save that.
You know what's wild? That Glenzer, that topic wasn't even on the list he had. He just like thought of it and just.
I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't on the list.
Bro, because that had to be talked with not through text.
Yeah, whatever.
You just love like losing arguments 3 against 1. You can't help yourself.
I haven't been wrong in a while.
Oh my god.
When's the last time you were right?
Ever since I talked about Damian Lillard, Melo back.
Nope. That's a safety word. I'm out.
I'm also out. How do I leave this? Anyway,
I'll see y'all when I see y'all.
peace.
Peace.